Who's excited for another week of the NFL? It's at Bama Kirk 46 here with you tonight. It's time for week 15 in the NFL preview show. Good evening, everybody. I hope everybody's doing well. This is the Up and Running Pods NFL Weekly Pick'em. We are on week 15. As always, we'll review week 14 first. But tonight, get ready. The Rams travel to San Francisco. It's an in-state game. It is an NFC West rivalry at this point, one in which the 49ers have owned recently. Can the Rams get it done? Who knows? We're going to dive into that in a minute. Let's start with last week's games. We had the Green Bay Packers visiting the Detroit Lions and getting just absolutely embarrassed at the end of the game. Couldn't make a stop. Fourth downs, they could not stop them. I think they went 4 for 5. Just an absolute joke if you're the Green Bay Packers. But the Lions come away with the win, 34-31, clinch the playoffs, hold on to the number 1 seed. The Packers still only have 4 losses. They're well into it. They're going to be just fine. Don't go on a slide. They'll be fine. But what a gamble by Dan Campbell. Listen, he's a guy that you can really enjoy, you can really like. He's a great coach, a great motivator, getting the job done in Detroit, takes a chance, tied game, kicks the field goal with no time on the clock to win it, 34-31. Just, you can't say enough about that. The other person you can't say enough about is Jared Goff. 32 of 41, 283 yards, 3 touchdowns. We took Detroit this week. That's a win. 9-4 in the week. We started off with the win Thursday night, feeling great. Struggled down the stretch, but always good to get the Thursday night game right. Lions come away with the win at home. Moving on, we've got Jacksonville at Tennessee. Wow. Let me tell you something. Both teams are 3-10. Both teams are terrible. Both teams need help everywhere. I don't know what to say that could be anything positive about either team. 10-6 in a game that Titans led in the fourth quarter late and lose to a Mac Jones-led Jacksonville Jaguars team. You just can't be that bad. You really can't be that bad against a team that doesn't have their starter, that has a terrible quarterback who hasn't shown anything. As I say that, Sam Darnold has come back with his third team and is tearing things up. So it could always come through. But Mac Jones isn't going to lead you anywhere. And Will Levis for the Titans is doing nothing. 2 field goals for the Titans is bad. Lose 10 points in the fourth quarter by the Jags. Just awful. Spent too much time on this game. Moving on. The next one on the list is the Miami Dolphins bringing in the Jets, coming away with a win in overtime, 32-26. We took Miami. We took Tennessee in the last game, so that was a loss, 1-1. Now we're 2-1 with Miami. Always love to beat the Jets, who are 3-10 at this point on the season. Talk about a horrible, horrible operation the New York Jets are. If it's me, I'm just getting rid of them. They are terrible. You've got to get rid of Aaron Rodgers. Just cut him. Pay him whatever you owe him and cut him. He is done. He's worthless. They've got a game this week that if they don't win this game, he really is done, and you've got to move on. Moving down the line, we've got the Falcons and the Vikings. We took Minnesota, and good thing we did. Darnold goes for 347, 5 touchdowns, 42-21 over the hapless Cousins-led Falcons. Atlanta's got a predicament. Do you keep starting Kirk Cousins, who's doing nothing the last few weeks, or do you bring in your rookie quarterback? Do you bring in your rookie quarterback who played in the national championship for Washington last year? Do you bring in your rookie quarterback who might be able to give you something? I don't know. But Michael Penix Jr. might be the answer in Atlanta. If nothing else, keep the fans off your back because it's atrocious. Absolutely atrocious in Atlanta. You had a chance to win the South. You had a chance to make the playoffs. All of those things are still intact, but with the schedule that you have and the schedule that, let's say, the Bucs have, you're going to have problems. You're going to have legit problems. Moving forward, we've got the New Orleans Saints and the New York Football Giants. Listen, it's bad when one New York team is bad. It's really bad when both of them are awful. The Giants are awful. They're terrible. But guess what? The Saints come away with a win, 2 touchdowns. They get the job done, 14-11 in New York. What a great game. Another team that is horrid, but not so fast. The Carolina Panthers are actually playing great football right now, just haven't been able to pull out a win. They took 2 of the best teams in the National Football League, the Philadelphia Eagles and the Kansas City Chiefs, and took them to the brink both times. The Eagles had to score a touchdown and 2-point conversion to win the game in the fourth quarter as they were down 14-16. The Panthers are playing better football. Bryce Young is playing better football. They could be finally on the move up. They'll have great draft picks this season. Finally, they gave all of them away to draft Bryce Young. Hopefully, they'll get some better choices this year, some better players to help him out. Roll Tide, Bryce Young. Let's see what can happen there. The Eagles come away with a win at home, 22-16 over the Panthers. Pittsburgh versus the Browns. Browns upset Pittsburgh in Cleveland with the snow last time. This time, the Steelers take it to them, 27-14 at home. The Steelers win the game. Wilson throws for 2 touchdowns as they just, Jameis Winston's a good quarterback. He just throws a lot of interceptions. I don't know what else to say. I like the guy. I think he's fun to watch, but just throws picks at the wrong time. Not great for him. Got Las Vegas and Tampa Bay. Listen, Tampa Bay is just one of those teams that you're like, all right, who's showing up this week? We don't know. Is Baker Mayfield of 295, 3 touchdowns going to show up? Or is Baker Mayfield throw a couple picks that ruin the game going to show up? But the Bucs are 7-6. They're moving into playoff contention. They lead the South right now with a win this week. They probably lock it up. So I just don't think anybody's going to catch them. The Raiders look horrible. Talking about not keeping Antonio Pierce. Well, maybe if you give him a team, you could keep him. But I'm tired of seeing coaches get fired that have the fire, that have the chance to do good things because the GM and the owner aren't willing to give them some players that make a difference. You have to have game changers. You have to be able to do things like that. And if you're not giving them an opportunity, well, that's nobody's problem but your own. Don't blame the coach. And stop making them fire the OC and the DC just to get, think you're doing something there. Be better about stuff like that. That's irritating when coaches lose their job. Now, some coaches they're horrible. Eberflus in Chicago, we covered it last week. Tell you something, you can't make those mistakes in the National Football League. You can't make them in college, especially in the SEC or the Big Ten, where college football is king. But he made it in the NFL. He's got to go. Not only did he make 1, he made 2 with the Hail Mary. He just doesn't have a very good coaching philosophy. That's why he's gone. Oakland or Las Vegas might want to give Antonio Pierce a chance. Let him get another season with something better than what he's got right now. And they didn't lead any offensive category at all. So, Seahawks and Cardinals. Buccaneers come away with a win. Right now, we've got 1 loss. Not too bad, right? Don't worry. We're going to catch some more. The Seattle Seahawks traveled to Arizona. And let me tell you something. Kyler Murray had a good day, but you've got to finish. 2 touchdowns is not enough against a team that can score apparently at will. Down 17-7 at first, and Seahawks just come away with a win. They're leading the NFC West right now, and to catch them, Arizona's got to win out. They're not going to make the wild card at this point. Neither is San Francisco, neither are the Rams. They've got to win out. I think 10-7 will get it done, but Arizona's got another loss coming soon, maybe even this week. Seattle comes with a win 30-18. Then we go to one of the games that you just wish you could be at, just if nothing else, to watch the absolute awesomeness between 2 quarterbacks, 2 teams that don't have a defense. Because it was all offense in the LA Rams stadium. Josh Allen has 6 total touchdowns, 3 rushing, 3 passing, 342 yards in the air, and they scored 21 points in the fourth quarter to even get close. Let me tell you something. The Rams got the job done against the best team in the AFC right now. The best team in the AFC right now. And that's saying a lot because Baltimore's going to come off a bye. Hopefully they're getting their stuff together. Kansas City is definitely on the way down. We'll see what happens. But the Rams are surging. The Rams are playing the best football they've played. They've gotten healthy, look good. Definitely the game of the week there. Awesome to see. Moving on to Chicago and the 49ers. Chicago traveled all the way out to San Francisco to catch a butt whooping. Down 24-0 at halftime. They lose 38-13. Terrible. Brock Purdy looked good. 325 for 2 touchdowns. Garindo had 78 yards and 2 touchdowns. Kittle had 151 in the air. Look at him getting the job done. George Kittle might be getting older, but he seems like he still has these breakout games, a la Travis Kelce when the Chiefs were winning Super Bowls. Now, the 49ers got a long way to go. They're at 6-7. Would love for them to sneak in and win the wild card for Mason. Go Mason. But at the same time, I think they have a tough test tonight against a team that put up a lot of points. This game could score 100 points. 38 for the Niners, 44 for the Rams. And last week, so I mean, that's 82 already. And you could be looking at another 18 points there with the way they score. So 49ers take it to them 38-13. Then we move on to another game. I'm tired of seeing this. I really don't care. Let me tell you something. Everybody's going to say, well, you don't know what you're talking about. The Chiefs are this, the Chiefs are that, Patrick Mahomes this, Patrick Mahomes that. Let me tell you something. They're getting freedom from embarrassment by referees, by mistakes, bad coaching, letting crappy teams get close and then sticking them in the end. I find it hilarious. Another one possession game, another less than 3-point game. I'm telling you, it's like these cardiac arrest Chiefs right here. They're going to face teams like the Bills. And not that they've had an easy schedule. They let off the Baltimore Ravens, who lost by a toe. But what they're doing is not going to breed well in the playoffs. I don't care who's injured or who's hurt. But they're going to need that bye week that they're going to get in the playoffs. I don't think the Bills are going to catch them at 10-3. They're 12-1. They're not going to lose 2 out of the next 4. But they've got to do something. They've got to get better offensively. 19 points against the Chargers. Come on now. Chiefs take the win, 19-17. I had the Chargers. I also had the Bears in the last game. Talk about 2 back-to-back dummies. And I had Buffalo, 3 in a row losses. But Monday Night Football, I had them Cincinnati Bengals. The Cowboys came into this game needing to win. Micah Parsons needing to get a win. And what do? You play your butt off, block a punt, go win the – nope. You block the punt, and your cornerback who just got put in touches the ball and gives it back to the Bengals. They go down and score touchdown. Chase takes it all the way to the house to win the game. The Cowboys are done. What an embarrassment. Just an embarrassing thing. McCarthy's got to go. And it's not that he's a bad coach, I'd necessarily say. He just has to go because you need something new in there. You need more. You need somebody that's going to help you out and not necessarily keep you at the same spot you're at. So move on from McCarthy. Get you a new coach. Be done with it. It's okay. Nobody cares. The Cowboys have got to become relevant again. You got to find money to pay people. But at this point, you just can't get any worse. You can't make these mistakes again and again and again. So we'll see what happens there. Look, I really think that's a tough game for these guys, a tough loss. But you saw the heart. What I like is you saw the heart and passion with Micah Parsons. You saw the heart and passion with some of the other players, CeeDee Lamb, guys like that. And it just sucks for them that are working hard and want to win. Mistakes happen. Bad things happen. But that's going to recap Week 14, 9-4 in the week. Remember, we had 6 teams on bye. That's done. We're out of there. All right, moving on. We're going to Week 15 starts tonight. The Rams, San Francisco, holy macaroni. This is going to be insane. This is going to be most likely a knockout round for the playoffs. Loser goes home because you'll own the tie. Well, they played twice, so who knows who owns the tiebreaker. They'll be even, okay? But moving forward, the Niners will have the advantage if they win. The Rams will knock the Niners out if they win. Okay? It's a knockout game for San Francisco. We have to win out for the Rams and get to 10-7. Matthew Stafford is just tearing it up here recently. George Kittle's the best receiver on the field. We're going to find out what happens tonight at 8:15 on Prime, on Amazon Prime. But let me tell you something. Tonight, Mason's not going to like this very much. I'm taking the Rams. I just think their offense is too potent. I think the receivers got the jobs done. I'm telling you right now, San Francisco has to play out of their mind to keep pace with LA. They're missing players on defense. They're missing offensive studs. They just don't have a choice. They've got to keep pace with LA, and I don't think they can do it. And defensively, I don't think they can stop them. I don't think they can get to them, but we'll see. Tonight, 8:15, rooting for the 49ers, but Brain told me to choose the Rams. They're the better team right now. Then we have Kansas City and Cleveland. Listen, Kansas City's going to go to Cleveland and whip them. I say that. I'm taking Kansas City. I'm taking a lot of away teams this week. But Jameis Winston, he shows up every once in a while, might have 1,200 yards. Jerry Jeudy might catch 200 yards passing. Who knows? Cleveland's always good for a game. You're like, wow, that receiver's great. Jerry Jeudy, Roll Tide. He can be great if Winston can hit him. We will see, but we're taking Kansas City with the brainchild on that one. Cincinnati at Tennessee. Cincinnati all day long. Nothing to discuss here. 3-10 Tennessee is not even close. The Bengals came away with a good win last week. Joe Burrow has a little bit of a knee issue, but still looks like he can get it done. Jamar Chase might be the best receiver in the league, but I know he's a top 3 receiver in the league. He looks amazing. Then we have Washington at New Orleans, taking the Commanders here. There's no chance that the Saints can win. They don't have their starting quarterback, Derek Carr. Who knows who they're going to rely on? If you're going with the Red Fro, Spencer Rattler, out of South Carolina, at a USC, at a Oklahoma, at every college that he went to, that's fine. If you're going with the other guy who I don't even know his name, tough luck. Get the job done. And Lamar can't save you in this. Daniels to McLaurin for 3 touchdowns. Take the Commanders big here over New Orleans. Moving on, we got the Ravens at the Giants. Another game that the Ravens have to win to keep pressure on the North. Listen, Pittsburgh is playing really good football of late. You cannot allow them to keep winning. I got Baltimore going to the Super Bowl. As in the NFC, I got Detroit. So Baltimore, keep it going. Jackson Henry combination with Zay Flowers on the side. Get the job done. Taking the Ravens big time over the Giants. Now, this is going to be the first home team I take on my list of games. Cowboys at the Panthers. Listen, the Cowboys have been playing well, but the Panthers have been playing great as of late. Wins and losses don't matter necessarily in that conversation when you compare where both teams started. The Cowboys look like doo-doo. The Panthers are going toe-to-toe with the Chiefs and the Eagles. The Panthers are coming away with a win in this game. I think they're going to win maybe 3 points, last-second field goal. Bryce Young finally figures it out, gets a big win for his resume and a big win for his team as they move forward. Now, they might not want to win because of 3-10 and want to keep that draft pick high. But at the same time, looks like they're going to get the win there. Jets at Jacksonville. The Jets, the Jets suck, are playing the Jacksonville Jaguars in Jacksonville with a beat-up, ugly-looking Aaron Rodgers, who probably went and got in a cave this week to test out all the things he needed to and how bad you can really be in a New York Jets uniform. Listen, I'm telling you right now, there's no chance that Jets lose to Jacksonville. And as I say that, I hear how ridiculous that could be. But they are a 3.5-point favorite in Jacksonville, which, if you know anything, being there away, that's actually a 6.5-point favorite. If you take the home team, always gets 3 points to start. But Aaron Rodgers won't lose this game because he will get the job done against a horrible, horrible Jacksonville team. Again, their record doesn't show what they should be, but it is what it is. Hopefully, the Jets pull this off, as we're going to take them with a very, very few amount of points. Next up, we got Miami at Houston, 6-7 versus 8-5. CJ Stroud's a thing of the past. Tua Tagovailoa has been there longer than him. We're going to get the job done in Houston. We're going to get the job done against the Texans. Hopefully, take away their playoff hopes. Move on up at 7-7. Got to get 3 more wins, get to 10-7. Hopefully, make the playoffs. But Tua, Tyreek Hill, our boys will get it done this weekend. Big time in Texas. Knock them out. Knock them out. Knock them a branch down because we need to head-to-head if we end up tied. Then the next game, Indianapolis at Denver. 2 teams, different records, 6-7 for the Colts, 8-5 for the Broncos. But here's the thing. The Colts do play some good football. They might be able to pull out a win. Denver's been playing a great, great bit of football here recently. Bo Nix looks good. Had a little break. Let's see what he can dial up with Sean Payton and getting that job done. I'm taking the Broncos this week. Think they can get the job done. Shouldn't be a big blowout or anything. Should be a close game. We'll see how Anthony Richardson does. I believe in his first trip to Mile High in Denver, Colorado. And then the second game of the week with all the aspirations of this being a Super Bowl preview. Listen, I'm all good with it being a Super Bowl preview. Love the Detroit Lions. Don't like the Bills. And with that being said, I have to take Detroit. You're at home. You're in front of your home crowd. Okay? The Bills have 3 losses all away. Detroit's going to get the job done. You're not going to stop that offense, and they're going to outpace the Buffalo Bills. So Detroit's going to win this game, but I'm thinking 80 points, 80 all day, maybe 100. It's going to be 200-point games in a week. Insane. And then the battle for the city and state of brotherly love, the Eagles versus the Steelers. This is played in Philadelphia. Listen, the Eagles are playing excellent football right now. Saquon Barkley is out of his mind. Jalen Hurts out of his – well, not really. Not really, because if you ask Brown, Jalen ain't doing much. Or apparently that's the rumor mill going around the Eagles. Let me tell you something. When you have internal problems like that, it goes one or two ways. The Steelers will come in and blow you out, or the Eagles will come out and blow the Steelers out by about 60. Because they're going to get Brown the ball. First play of the game, 80-yard touchdown pass. Second play of the game, 80-yard touchdown. They're going to blow him up. A.J. Brown will have 4 touchdown catches this week. They're going to make it happen. Definitely taking Philly. Pittsburgh can't keep pace with Philly's offense if they get to running like that. Philadelphia is healthy, looking good. We will see what happens, but fly, Eagles, fly. That's the saying, right? Fly, Eagles, fly. Put them terrible towels away. Use them for toilet paper. New England at Arizona. Look, this game doesn't mean anything except for the Cardinals. If you're New England, are you losing? Are you trying to lose? I don't know. I might. Get that draft pick, man. You be thinking of draft pick. You ain't going to playoffs. Think about draft picks. Might even get your head coach fired. Heard that was a rumor mill the other day. But definitely taking the Cardinals here. Kyler Murray's got to get the wins. Going to play well. James Conner's going to run the ball really hard. We'll see what happens, but Arizona coming away with the win there. Then we have Tampa Bay at L.A. The Chargers got to come back from a bad loss to the Kansas City Chiefs. So we're going to find out what happens with them. Which Baker Mayfield shows up. This game can go one or two ways. I don't know if Herbert's playing. That's the big problem. Herbert has an ankle injury. I'm almost 90% sure he's playing, but there's been a little rumor mill going around that he might not play. Look, if Baker Mayfield shows up in week 1 and in week 4 and week against the Chiefs, LA's not going to beat them. They're going to outpace them. But with that being said, if the Chargers have Herbert, if they air it out, if they get the running game going on, if McConkey gets a lot of catches, basically if their offense is perfect, they're going to win the game. But we are taking the away team, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, because they need to win it. They win it, they pretty much lock up the NFC South, which is good for them. Get it out the way, be done, because Atlanta's awful, and that's your only competition. Moving on, you got a playoff implications out the wazoo this week. A lot of games, about 6 games this week that really means something for teams, and it's cross divisions, cross conference. But the Green Bay Packers are traveling all out to Seattle. We're going to take the Seattle Seahawks. We're going to take the Seattle Seahawks by a point, maybe 3. But here's the deal. If the Packers win this game, they lock up a wild card. I mean, essentially lock up a wild card. They're not going to go 0-3 in the next 3 games, right? If the Seahawks win, they move closer to locking up the NFC West, which is all 3 teams that they would be facing are making a giant push to get there. The Arizona Cardinals, the San Francisco 49ers are both 6-7. The Los Angeles Rams are 7-6, and they're playing their tails off. A loss for the Seahawks and a win for the Rams tonight would really create some controversy, also opening up more teams for the playoffs, for the wild card, losing the stranglehold that the NFC North has on, or giving the stranglehold to the NFC North. Minnesota and Green Bay are pretty much locked for the playoffs, and so is Detroit. So that's 3. Then you have 1 wild card spot for 1 team in the other 3 divisions in that conference. It's going to be a wild season. The NFC North having 3 teams in the playoffs, and then you only have 1 outside wild card team. Moving on to Monday night, we've got a double header. The Bears travel to Minnesota, which they're not going to win. They're horrible. The Caleb Williams experiment this year didn't go well. Sam Darnold experiment is going great. He's either going to sign a massive contract extension with the Minnesota Vikings, which puts McCarthy in trouble, the quarterback from Michigan that won the national championship last year, or he is going to be a free agent and sign somewhere for billions of dollars. But I don't think you can replicate what you got going on. Sam Darnold's doing great in Minnesota. I don't know that you can replicate that at another place. He also has Justin Jefferson, who is by far one of the best wide receivers in the entire game. Okay. He's also got a running back that's almost at 1,000 yards. Well, what else do you want from the guy? He's got an offense. Now, he's got 28 touchdowns and 10 picks. That's pretty daggone good. That's 2-1, almost 3-1. But at the end of the day, they're playing a team that they ought to annihilate. They'll be 12-2 at the end of the week. Minnesota over Chicago. Atlanta at Vegas. A game of bad coaching on Vegas' side, according to Mark Davis, the owner of the Las Vegas Raiders. And by everybody's assumption, bad quarterback play by Kirk Cousins. 17 touchdowns and 15 picks. The Falcons will come away with the win, but a squeaker on Monday Night Football at Allegiant Stadium. Back-to-back Monday Night Football games starting at 8 o'clock. Bears versus Vikings, 8:30. Falcons versus Raiders. Listen, this week, okay, the NFL did a great thing. They scheduled all the great games at 4:25. All the good games are late. You got a Thursday night game that means something. You got 2 Monday night games that you don't have to watch. You don't even have to watch these games. They're highlighting a rookie quarterback in the first game. In the second game, I guess they thought it was going to be something, but it's nothing. It means nothing. So you got Green Bay at Seattle. You got Tampa Bay at the Chargers, both playoff implications. Pittsburgh at Philly. Buff at Detroit. Miami, Houston, playoff potential. You've got Dallas and Carolina for the bad game. You want a bad game? Watch Dallas and Carolina. You've got, that's it. Pittsburgh, Philly, Tampa, Chargers, Green Bay, Seattle, Sunday night, Buffalo, Detroit. 3 games at the same time that you don't want to miss. So what do? Get you some YouTube TV, get you the premium package for NFL Sunday ticket, or head to your favorite local sports bar and watch it on all the TVs and catch the other games. Anyway, it's been a great week of football. The college football playoff is set. We will have an update with that most likely Saturday morning. Irritating to say the least, but the NFL has 4 weeks left. It's going to be great football. I'm excited for it. Tonight's going to be a great game. You got Buffalo and Detroit Sunday, Pittsburgh and Philly Sunday. Those are my 3 games of the week. They should be really great football games for you to watch. Check them all out. Looking to go a perfect 16-0 this week, but I got some crazy picks in there. Trying to break the norm. I'm in the running in the pick'em, so we're going to see what happens there. I hope everybody has a great week. Enjoy, all the holiday festivities that are starting up. Catch us on X at Up and Running Pod. We're on TikTok now at Up and Running Pod and at Bama Turk 46. I'm on X at Bama Turk 46. Everybody have a good night. Enjoy the football tonight. Go Rams. Peace.